It's the Brad and John Show.
The Brad and John Show. Today's date is the 28th of May. It happens to be a Wednesday. And not only is it Whopper Wednesday, but do you know this is National Hamburger Day? Did you know that, John?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, National Hamburger Day. And the crazy part of that
is... And that's named after Hamburger, Missouri, right?
No.
They lost the E and the R at the end of it and just made it its own day.
Well, that's just like the crazy stuff in Franklin County. There's a town that's spelled B-E-R-G-E-R. Spell that for me, or pronounce it B-E-R-G-E-R. How would you say that?
A normal person would say burger, but is it like Berge?
They call it Berge or Berger. And there's another town in Franklin County that's spelled J-A-P-A-N. How would you pronounce that, John?
Yipan.
It's Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
That's like Cairo, or that's like Versailles, right?
Right. All those crazy pronunciations. Just like, for example, all the streets we have. Like in Clayton, we have Carondelet, and in South County, we have Gravois. And
Bellefontaine.
Bellefontaine.
Don't forget, Brad grew up off of Bellefontaine.
I did. Okay. Let me read the official story on National Burger Day, because where did I put it at? Did I put it here? Maybe. Yeah, here it is right here. Okay, this is a USA Today article, and it talks about, clear the ads away. National Hamburger Day, a day to celebrate one of America's favorite foods, is Wednesday, May 28th. If you have an appetite for one, many burger spots have freebies and specials. No one knows how May 28th became the unofficial hamburger holiday according to the National Day calendar, but its proximity to Memorial Day and the outdoor grilling season could be a reason. And talks about the fact that hamburgers don't really need a special day, as they're a staple of dining out and eating at home. America's, guess how many, estimated how many burgers are eaten each year?
Oh, I'm going to say 2 billion.
50 billion.
No way. Are you serious?
50 billion hamburgers a year. The average U.S. consumers eats 26 burgers per year from restaurants, drive-thrus, and other food service. I eat 26 a week. 26 a year.
Yeah. Now, remind me, Brad, how do you, among major fast food chains, and if you would consider like a Freddy's in there, where would you, among places that people would have actually heard of, where would you rank burgers, like maybe top 3?
My top 3 right now would be Culver's, which would be number 1. Number 2 would be Freddy's. And number 3, if you just want a plain old inexpensive hamburger, McDonald's, you can't beat it. I think they're still like $1.29 or something like that. Even the stupid
$1.19, I think, something like that.
Right. Even the McChickens. See, this is what I don't understand about McDonald's. If you go and buy a McChickens have gotten more expensive, but they're still, depending upon which one, the price of McChickens vary widely from the various different McDonald's. How do I know? Because I eat a lot of different McDonald's. But let's say they average about $2.09. Okay, why would you pay $5 for their chicken sandwich, or why would you go to Popeyes or to Chick-fil-A and pay $5 or $6 for a chicken sandwich when you can get a McChicken at Mickey D's? Matter of fact, in most Mickey D's, you can get 2 chicken sandwiches for under $5 with tax. So there you go. I mean,
yeah, and you're not a big. We've discussed this before. You're not a big Chick-fil-A fan, right?
Well, John, talk about inflation, okay? I had Chick-fil-A a couple weeks ago. It's to the point where it seems like every time I go, it's 50 cents more than the time I was there before. I was upset when it broke the $10 barrier. Now it's into the $11 area. And I'm thinking to myself, wasn't it last week that I paid $10.34 for this same thing? Because I always eat the same thing. I get the 3 chicken planks, where they call them, chicken tenders and French fries.
Oh, well, you don't do the sandwich?
No. If I want to get a sandwich, I go to McDonald's.
But a McDonald's sandwich doesn't compare to a Chick-fil-A sandwich is bigger, and I think Chick-fil-A looks more, for what it's worth, it looks more like an actual chicken breast.
John?
And doesn't McDonald's, I'm guessing McDonald's just uses, it's some kind of ground up chicken that they made to look like a sandwich, right?
John, here we go again. Remember when we had the chicken sandwich wars, when everybody you had Popeyes come out? Remember there were fights in the parking lot. People couldn't get their Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yes.
After the commotion died down, I went and had a Popeyes chicken sandwich. What was the other? KFC didn't have a chicken sandwich. They were all competing with Chick-fil-A. This is Brad's principal displayed for public view. When I get hyped on something, I'm always disappointed with it. And to the point where that's why if a big movie comes out and people go, oh my God, The Godfather's the best movie you've ever seen. To this day, I've never seen The Godfather because I know when I go and see it, I'm going to be disappointed because I'm expecting.
You'll be let down. I see what you're saying. That's your whole UPod thing, Brad.
Right. I'm expecting Robert De Niro to come out of the screen and walk up the aisle and say, Brad, we're glad you're here, and go back. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this incredible thing, and I don't get it. Same thing with this chicken sandwiches. I had the Chick-fil-A, I had the Popeyes, I had the KFC, I had the Burger King, Give me a McChicken any day for $2 and I'm happy. That's all there is to it, John.
Do any fast food places, have you seen, are they like, is Burger King going to celebrate? Do they ever latch onto this stuff and give like a special deal?
Boy, good old info dude Mike Otten just said Popeye's chicken sandwich is the best. Still only $5. $5, Mike. You can buy 2 McChickens for $5.
But that's probably a pretty high. Like if Mike says that it's pretty good, like wouldn't you trust Mike?
John, what was your question again? Let me fully answer your question.
It was what are the top? Well, my most recent one was: are any places like Burger King latching onto this by like, maybe they'll do a BOGO because it's National Hamburger Day.
I don't know what they're doing. I know today's Whopper Wednesday. It used to be $2.99, now it's $3.99, and I won't go to the one Burger King near me because the service has just deteriorated to the point where it's like, I don't know how the place stays open anymore. And I can tell you, see, this is the fast food aficionado I am. The Burger King out there in Villa Ridge, which got destroyed by the tornado, which is still closed, that was one of the better Burger Kings. There's a Burger King there on 364 and Jungerman in St. Charles. I don't know if that's St. Peter's. I guess that would be St. Peter's right there.
Yeah, but we know where it is. It's 364 in Jungerman. It's right by, there's a Club Fitness there.
Yes, right across the parking lot. Excellent Burger King, okay? I can tell you the good McDonald's. I can tell you the bad McDonald's. I can tell you the good Wendy's. I can tell you the bad Wendy's. And to the point where even consistency among chains is not that good. But I don't know. I mean,
now why don't you cook your own burgers at home, Brad?
John, can I tell you a weird story?
Yeah, please do.
I'm not having some good luck lately. I've had some problems with various things, and I'm, I'll be honest with you, John. You're gonna be my shrink this morning. I've been depressed about a couple different things. Okay.
Okay.
So I got a project finished last night, and I was sort of happy that I got this done, and I thought to myself, you know what? I have never, and you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, I've never had a McFlurry before. Okay.
Okay, what a way to celebrate.
Never had a McFlurry. So it's like 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. No, about 8:30. So I'm going to Mickey D's. I'm going to get a McFlurry. So I go to the drive-thru, and guess what happens when I order a McFlurry?
The McFlurry machine is broken.
Right. The ice cream machine's broken. So there's a Schnucks near this Mickey D's I'm at. So I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm just going to go in and buy myself a tub of ice cream, which I have never done in my life. I've never done this in my life. So I go to the Schnucks. By this time, it's 8:45. I go to the Schnucks, and I go down the ice cream aisle and think to myself, oh, my God, $9 for a pint of ice cream. So I find this ice cream that's on sale. Okay, this is an honest-to-God true story. I wouldn't kid you. Matter of fact, I took a picture of it. Remember, I've never heard of this brand before. So it was on sale, and it was a big old tub. It was 48 ounces. I took a picture of it.
Is it Bluebell?
No, it's not Bluebell. Never heard of this one before. When I mentioned to you, you will never heard of it as well, too. Okay, here, let me go over this one. The company is called Hudsonville. You ever heard of Hudsonville?
Oh, wow. Okay, never heard of them. You're right.
Brownie batter cookie dough, 48 ounces. Okay? So I think to myself, and it was on sale for, I think, $3.99. So I think to myself,
ooh, that's a great deal.
A McFlurry was like $4 something or other. Okay? So there's one problem. I'm in the parking lot at Schnucks, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to eat it. So I go down a couple aisles over, and I buy myself a box of plastic spoons. So I sit out in my car eating my tub of ice cream with my plastic spoons in the Schnucks parking lot. And not once, I was there for like a half an hour. I was just sitting there eating my ice cream, enjoying listening to the radio the whole bit. It was a nice night, windows down, it was really nice. And in the span of 30 minutes, I had not one, not two, but 3 people ask me for money. And because,
You're kidding me.
No.
And I'm not going to ask you exactly where you were. Were you in North County?
I'm not. Well,
Okay, I mean, you're obviously not going to be somewhere civilized. You're not going to be in Chesterfield or St. Charles. So, okay,
right.
We got it.
And the situation was I changed into my work clothes last night to work on something, and I had my shorts on. And typically I have my money in my shirt pocket, and I didn't have my shirt on. I just had a T-shirt on. And the only thing I had with me was my little Ridge wallet with my credit cards. And I had 3 different dudes come up and panhandle me. And quite honestly, for the most time, give him money. The one guy was he had a story, he told me the whole story. Okay, it's worth a couple bucks. But I didn't have any money. The third guy gets mad at me. Dude, you're sitting there eating ice cream. I know you got money. I go, plastic, dude, plastic. I don't have any cash on me. And he says to me, I bet you have change in your pocket. I go, I do not, because I'm not wearing my regular pants with my change in them. I'm wearing my shorts, and I don't have any change in them. All I got is 1 set of keys. Normally I carry 4 sets of keys with me. I have 1 set of key, and I have my Ridge wallet, and that's all I have. And he gets mad at me. I'm going like, dude. And I said to him,
which by the way, he has a right to yell at you, but he's not entitled to you listening to him. Like, I don't know why you didn't pull away or tell him to F off.
I said to him, look at the car I'm driving. It's got a big dent in the front fender in the front door.
Yeah, look at how many letters are in the license plate.
Right. Look at the guy. I said, I'm looking down the odometer. It's got 313,000 miles. Do you think I look like I'm rolling in dough? And he said to me, you know what he said? Looked at me and he said, I think you are, because I've read The Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah, and he knows that, you save a lot of money. Brett, let's get back to the ice cream real quick. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why didn't you drive home to eat the ice cream?
That's a good question. Because, see, John, first off, it's funny you should ask that, because when I got out of my car to go into Schnucks last night, the weather was perfect. I mean, it was like, 65 degrees, nice breeze. See, I love those kind of nights, because I'm thinking to myself, we are living on borrowed time, because for the next 3 months at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, it's going to be 90 degrees.
It will be sweltering.
Right.
And the only thing I don't like about that is that you got to pay for air conditioning. That's why I love this time of year. You don't have to pay Spire or Ameren. So, Brad, let's get back to this. So you wanted to eat in the car.
Yes.
So here's what I'm thinking. You did a lot of work, and you completed a task successfully.
Yes.
And you thought, hey, I'm going to reward myself.
Yes.
You go to McDonald's. You have the dopamine rush of, I'm going to get a McFlurry. I'm going to get a McFlurry. It's going to be so good. Oh, the machine's broken.
Right.
So you have to fill that with something else. You can't just go home and eat something healthy or have a little snack at home. So you go to Schnucks, so you get another dopamine hit of, oh, look, there's ice cream. Not only is it good ice cream, but I got a great deal. And I even have spoons. And instead of thinking, you know what, I could delay gratification for X number of minutes and eat this at home, you think, no, I got to have my dopamine fix now. I got to go in the car. I got to eat. And then appropriately, you were panhandled 3 times by people who have no right to speak to you. You should have driven away. You didn't have to engage them, but you chose to. Instead of eating at home, you chose an experience of sitting in the car with your windows down and getting panhandled while you gorge on ice cream.
John, you've summarized it pretty well.
Yeah. So do you think maybe next time you're in this situation, maybe you could take the ice cream home and you might be able to relax at home? Unless there's something, Brad, that you associate being at home and sitting down and eating. Maybe you think if you do that, you're lazy.
Well, John,
but clearly you didn't want to return home for some reason.
You've missed one important point that you don't quite understand.
Ooh, that you have a lot of extra spoons now.
I do have a bunch of spoons.
Oh, what's that? What's the point, Brad?
I'm a single guy, okay? Now, if I were a married guy, I would just say, hey, honey, give me a sandwich and a beer. And I wouldn't have to go to Schnucks. But instead, I got to go and do things like that because...
Yeah, or other people would say you have the freedom to do things and take care of things yourself and not rely on a woman to make you a sandwich or get you a beer. Brad, let me ask you an uncomfortable question. Did you finish the ice cream?
I did not.
Okay, good. Because if you had eaten 48 ounces of ice cream, I'd be very worried about you.
I got about a third of the way through it.
And then you took the rest home, I hope?
Well, you don't want to hear that part of the story because I don't...
Okay, so you threw away the rest of your ice cream.
I did, because I don't have a freezer.
Okay, have you thought of spending maybe $5 or $6 and keeping a little cooler in your trunk or in the back of your car?
It's not going to keep ice cream cold.
It'll keep ice cream cold for a drive home for 20 minutes. It will.
Well, but why would I want to do that when I can eat right there in the parking lot?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Hey.
think about it for a minute. If you go to the liquor store, you don't want to drive home and drink that liquor. You want to drink it right there in the parking lot and throw the beer bottles and stuff out there in the parking
Yeah,
lot.
I think so.
I
And
mean,
I
come
think
on,
if
John.
people
See, this is
might delay their dopamine hit for a few minutes and think maybe you wouldn't have eaten that much ice cream if you had had a little time before you drove home, Brett.
See, this is the difference between John and myself. John and I are both North County boys, okay? And we grew up a certain way, a special way. Wouldn't you agree, John? Because
I agree, Brad.
We're North County boys. But through the years, John has had the North County boy extracted from his being.
Not true, but go ahead.
And I have not. I'm still.
You will eat ice cream, and I would make the argument, Brad, that I was in Spanish Lake for 18 and a half glorious years, that I have no time for panhandlers. So I will wave you off before you come to me, or I'll shake my hand and just say no. Like, I'm not going to talk to a panhandler.
See, John, this is where you and I are different because as crazy as it may sound, I know you're going to roll your eyes when I say that. How do you know that one of those panhandlers isn't Jesus coming back? How do you know?
Because I don't live in a state of FOMO, which you do, Brad. Because your idea is maybe 1 in a million times this guy is Jesus back on earth, and he's going to tell me that I'm saved. But I don't live in a place of FOMO and making up stories about maybe this will happen, and you know. And also today, everybody panhandling, anybody that's close to that, their name is actually Jesus.
Not my hood. They're not. They're
Yeah,
not.
well, maybe not, Brad. Anyway, you are obviously a good man for speaking to the panhandlers. You're incredibly naive, and it's a dangerous task, and you should have just driven away. But, you know, you're a good man for speaking to them because there's that chance that it's actually Jesus, Brad.
You don't know. Do you see, I still say, you know, when the WWJD thing was out, what would Jesus do? Remember, people had the bracelets. Remember that? I still say WWJW. And where would Jesus worship? And I don't think you'd find Jesus at one of the mega churches. I'm not making fun of them, but I don't think you'd find him at Grace or Family Church or anything like that. I don't think you'd find him in the Catholic Church. I think if Jesus came back and he was amongst us, was it among or amongst us?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Okay, if he were amongst us, he would be the guy sitting next to you at the train station, or he would be the guy who would be, sitting on a park bench somewhere, just watching the world go by. Or in my case, me eating my Hudsonville brownie batter cookie dough ice cream in the parking lot of Schnucks, Jesus would be the guy who comes up to me and says, "Hey, Brad," and he would know my name. That's how I know it would be Jesus. Can you spare me $1 or $2? And I go, wow. And I would say to him, "Can you put your hand on my forehead and make my back pain go away?" And he would put his hand on my forehead, and I would be 30 years younger. I would be back in my 60s, 30 years younger. And do the math, John. And
Yeah, no, I'm doing it.
I would be this young whippersnapper who'd jump out of the car. I'd do handstands in the parking lot, and I go, "Oh my God, it's Jesus, he's cured me." And I'm thinking to myself, and all these people go to these expensive churches, and I find them in the parking lot at Schnucks.
I think you should clip this and post it to godsquad.club.
Okay. Have I made a fool of myself, John?
Not at all, Brad. I think we know what kind of ice cream to get you for your kayfabe birthday.
Okay, we have to take a break.